And welcome back to the Paul Dolden Details channel. Right, this week I have something a little bit different for you, a rather short video this week. On this is a Proxxon mini polisher. It's actually a mini rotary polisher, believe it or not. I've had this a number of years. I actually purchased it second hand, and it's quite a handy little tool. There are some pluses and there's some downsides to this tool, and we will talk about those during the course of the video. Okay, so why would you want another machine? In particular, why would you want a machine like this? Well, if you're getting into nooks and crannies, yes, crannies, not the other thing, on a vehicle, around wheel arches, in particular on maybe chrome bumpers, like on a BMW perhaps, then you're probably going to reach for something rather small. Now, I have got the spot pad attachment to go on my other rotary with the extension bar, but it is quite large and it can get quite heavy as well. This is very, very light, this machine, and it's tiny. Look, it's like less than a foot long. There are some downsides to this machine. It is a rotary, so I have to warn you, be careful, panel temperature and all the rest of it, but we'll talk about that during the course of the video. But for a budget polisher, stick around for this video. Now, normally at this stage of the video, I'll be coming out with a really funny anecdote, some cracking one-liner. Yeah, right, you're really funny, Paul. But this week, I've got a little bit of news for you. Now, it's nothing serious, don't worry. And I have been trying to give up strong beer. Don't get me wrong, I'm not one of them. But on a Friday, I do like to chill out with several strong beers. I blame the Belgians, they make some incredible beer. But it's messing with my system. I work shifts, I work nights, I work days. And enough's enough. So I'm really trying to give it up. And so far, I've done very, very well. So wish me luck. Anyway, grab a bottle of Coke, diet lemonade, and roll the video. So here we go then. What do you get in the kit? You get a box, a little briefcase. Remember, mine was second hand. So in this kit, you will get the Proxxon polisher, and you'll get some backing plates, and of course, you'll get some pads with the kit. You can actually buy this cordless, believe it or not. This is the corded version, really. Very short cord, and that is the 2-inch backing plate, or the 50mm backing plate. You have a button there to release the plate, to interchange to the smaller one, which is the 1-inch, or 25mm. 2,800 RPMs. That's all you're getting on top of that machine. No graph, no speed chart, nothing. And there's the dial to turn up the speed with just an on-off switch. So you can get various pads for this machine, all going to be linked underneath, all from the CAF store, thanks to Stephen. Big shout out to him. Various pads you can get, microfiber and sponge, varying in different hardnesses. They have a chart with them so you can tell which ones are which, and you'll probably get a new backing plate with each kit you buy, so you end up with a number of those little backing plates. You can throw those in a washing machine. Now the smallest one, the 25mm one, or 1-inch, if I've got that correctly, the tiny one, if you're going to be doing headlights on Barbie cars or Barbie and Ken's Jeep, you can switch over to the tiny one. In all seriousness, if you want to do badges and very, very small, tight areas, these are a very, very handy little bit of kit. And of course, you can get the pads as well, all below, all in the links. Quick demo here. Got some Details Passion Chrome Cleaner. Now these pads I actually got from AliExpress, can you believe? After waiting about a month for them, they're not that great. Once you start pulling these off, being pulled off the machine that is, they tend to deteriorate, they're very cheap. Check your panel temperatures. Remember, this is a rotary that develops heat quite quickly. Now this, of course, is only a quick demo showing this. These bumpers have been done before. Notice I've got microfibers. That's residue control. When using a rotary, they do fling, especially if you're using the more runny compounds. Be aware. Now you can fit the Rupes pads on this as well, believe it or not. You can buy those. I know they're a lot more expensive, but they are premium brand pads. As seen being used on the Metro by Sean there and me. So have had some use out of this machine. Major schoolboy area there, covering up the vents on the side of the machine. More about that later on. Try and get your hands over it, not around it, and just let the heat come out the vents. It's very comfortable to use, this is. It's incredibly light, very light. A handy little bit of kit for doing bits and pieces like this around wheel arches. You're not going to do big panels with this, don't get me wrong, you're not going to start doing roofs with it, blimey, you'll be there for a month. But a very, very quick demonstration of what this machine can do and the applications, like, you know, where you're going to be using it. You might not bother with this, you might just go to your spot pad DA, you might go bigger. So the cordless version, I think, retails around about 170 odd pound. The corded version is something like 115 off the top of my head. I will put links in underneath the video. So you might want to take like a small scratch out and not feel like you want to machine the entire panel. You can use it for that. So there are some pitfalls using this machine, and we're going to discuss those at the end of the video. It's not perfect by any means, but for a budget polisher, you get a lot of bang for your buck. If you don't want to go into the Rupes territory hybrid, you can of course get some cheaper examples from across the pond. We've yet to try those out, but it's worth a punt this. Yes, I said punt. So that is pretty much it for a very quick video this week. Quick demo. Enjoy some buffing off. Okay, so what do we think about this dentist drill on steroids? The Proxxon Mini Polisher. Let's talk about the pros first. The pros are the fact it's affordable, it's light, it's relatively quiet, and it does cut, and it does produce some decent results, to be honest with you, for the size and the weight of the machine. And the fact it's quite ergonomically designed. It's nice to hold. It's not, you know, it's not awkward. Just make sure when you hold this, you actually move your hand further back. There's some vents on the side of the machine here. Just make sure you move your hand back. You don't want to burn your hands or overheat the machine. Quick tip for you. And it comes in a nice carry case. So that's the pros, okay? It's affordable and it does the job. The downside is there's no speed control on the back of this machine, which is a real downside. They should have some sort of a chart on here. The reason I think this has come about is it's not really designed for detailing. I think it was more bench use as a grinder stroke polisher. That's probably the reason. Also, it has an incredibly short lead. If you want to take this apart and put a different lead on it, then do it, because this is just far too short. It's like 2.2 meters long, which is just pathetic. That's just like midget territory. No offense to midgets, but yeah, that's just too short. That's the downside. I don't mind the button, that's all right, but the fact you don't know what speed you're starting at, you just turn it right down before you start. That'll control the residue as well. That's the main problem with this, with residue control. It chucks it all over the place like mini rotaries, but that's really my thoughts. The downside is that speed controller and no sign on it. That's probably about the worst I could think of, to be honest with you. So if you're watching this Proxxon, put a speed control chart on here, some sort of a graph so we know what revs per minute we're in, and make the lead a lot longer, and we'll be happy bunnies. Apart from that, it's not a bad bit of kit. I will put the links down underneath the video, the Amazon affiliate links as well, where you can get the pads for this machine. There's several places you can get those. I'll put as many links down underneath as possible. Don't forget, we have new merch. We have key rings and travel mugs if you're planning on going camping or going anywhere, to be honest with you. And I'll put them underneath as usual. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you on the next video. Tell you bye.